Welcome to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. Join us as we share our favorite RPGs, one-shot games, tabletop games, reviews, and convention panels. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and rpgpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Okay, Victoria, you are sassy today. All right. Ready? Hello, everybody. My name is Lady Wheelsworth. I have Wheelsworth Mechanics. Before we get started, if you are interested in having A.S.G.A.R.D interact with you, I ask you to please sit on the side so she can actually react to your costumes, interact with them, and touch. We want a safe environment for our panel, and therefore go to the place that you like that. But if you're not comfortable, just sit in the middle because the aisles are very thin, and that way. Okay, letting you guys choose your options. Cool. All right. So this is A.S.G.A.R.D, a second-generation articulating atomic device. Automatic device. I can't do it.
Automaton?
Robotic device. There we go. A.S.G.A.R.D. All right. Don't look at me with that face. It's been a while since I have. We have a companionship, and you're not supposed to. We're supposed to be like companions and like buddies. Yes, I got your name wrong. Yay! Go ahead. Anyways, I discovered A.S.G.A.R.D in Scrapyard. Let me rephrase. I discovered her arm in a scrapyard. Broken, mingled, wires coming out, and it was this thing of beauty. I was looking for more items to basically form a design, and I discovered this. I wanted to know where it came from. I wanted to know its history, basically. So I went to the scrapyard. The scrapyard manager, and he showed me this robot who basically had no work done on her for years, was trying her hardest to basically not function. She malfunctioned completely, didn't work, and I wanted to basically make her back into what she formerly was.
The fringe matches your outfit perfectly.
As I was going through A.S.G.A.R.D's material things, her crank box opened, and I discovered this journal. Her original creator, Sir Bevel in Blue, basically had this journal in order to figure out the invention of her device, as well as making it to where she could be repaired on when something went wrong. The person at the scrapyard decided, hey, let's not check out what's going on underneath, and I was left to my own devices. Sir Bevel in Blue was very, very stuck to wanting to make the perfect cup of tea. As many of you know, that is the perfect recipe, and you all have it. Unfortunately, he also wanted to make a machine that would automatically pour tea, kind of like coffee, kind of like that in late history, but it was lost to time. I tried to find different journals, I tried to look for different things, but unfortunately I was unable. As I went through this journal though, I found a note from his daughter, Anna, who was leading for the women's rights campaign and requested that Sir Bevel basically make his own tea. His daughter would make him his tea while he was working on his projects, and so she decided no more. Unfortunately, the journal began to grow strange. Strange anatomy about different human figures, as well as prompts, commands, anything to make basically a daughter that would follow his command. You know, as a fatherly unit who does the things, as A.S.G.A.R.D's only Sir Bevel then Sir Bevel, with all of his research and everything that he could find on human anatomy as well as different engines to form, created A.S.G.A.R.D in 1864. Unfortunately, she did go a little bit zealous with it. And as you can see her display, this is how she was made specifically to make Sir Bevel tea. What you doing? Hey, no, stop, A.S.G.A.R.D. We talked about this. Cats are not cups. I believe that was her way of apologizing.
You want to try this?
Sir Bevel used 3 power sources in order to create A.S.G.A.R.D. Her boiler in order to make her pistons, her leg pistons move, which...
Yeah, you got this, girl.
Actually, A.S.G.A.R.D, you seem to be having a malfunction.
Oh no.
Oh.
Come here, please. Yeah, you're a little hot. Turn around. Let me measure. Yeah. All right. Do you mind if I shut you down and get you restarted? Okay. One knee. All right. Let's see. Mission to my 2. Just try a little bit. And up you go. Feel a little less hot?
Yay. Renewed.
And on to our regular schedule programming. The spring tensions in her arms are, as well as her difference engine, were basically used to make everything function. After this, there's ether, the 5th element of the world. Displayed on my arm, it keeps my cyborg arm working. She also is mainly functioning and able to do her own self-awareness through this element. And as you can see, for the most part, She is functional. What you doing? What you doing? This is not food. No. Measures. Okay, no, that's important. No, no, mm-mm. No. So due to A.S.G.A.R.D having some malfunctions when it comes to her tea spilling, it was decided that she would get another difference engine. This engine was placed where a human heart would be in order to give her more self-awareness in with the ether, so she can make more decisions on her own, as well as being able to mostly function. Hey! Come on.
What can
Ah,
she
those
eat?
metal, it's fine.
What can she eat?
She...
Does she have a digestive system?
So, wait for questions at the end, and I swear I will get to
Okay.
it. Okay. So A.S.G.A.R.D is still learning, kind of. What are you doing? You know. Okay, it's, have you seen Jerk Around? Yes. You bring that in. Not right now. No. Not at this second. I'm sorry. We're doing it then. Why don't you give it back to the father? My theory is the reason why A.S.G.A.R.D is the way she is because she's lost a lot of her memory. It's kind of sort of like a newborn learning new things and how humans interact. I've tried to find journals of where she would be, where she has been discovered, but unfortunately she was kind of lost to time. Except for in one newspaper clipping where she was in the circus. The Sprocket Brothers Circus and Freak Show. So, as you have noticed, my companion is mute. I've looked at box wire replacements. I've looked at different materials while she prances around, has her fun. However, all that comes out is this. She's a little bit mad at me. It's one of the things we argue about. She meets, basically, is what we're saying. However, through discovery, what I did find out though, while going through her brain, basically, is that the circus actually implemented one really fun part of her that I think she would like to show you. Whenever you're ready.
Rumors fly and you can't tell where they start, especially when it concerns a person's heart. I've heard tales that could set my heart aglow. Wish I knew if the things I heard were so. They say that falling in love is wonderful. It's wonderful, so they say. And with the moon up above, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, so they tell me. I can't recall who said it. I know I've never read it. I only know they tell me that love is grand, and to hold a man in your arms is wonderful, wonderful in every way. So they say.
Bravo!
So there's a music box in there, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Interesting.
Just without the talking part.
You got to create a little punch card and she'll sing.
Yep.
Oh, I can play her piano. That's fantastic. Makes sense.
All right. To continue, A.S.G.A.R.D actually really just started as a passion project for me. We wanted to just make her back to being exactly as she was, but she became my companion. One of the people that robots that I rely on. Let's not. No. I think Charity was fangirling, guys. Anyways, as A.S.G.A.R.D is slowly regaining her memories, that is one of our main goals, to make her memories come back. If we can get her voice back, cool. If not, unfortunate, but hey, you got the music. However, one of the biggest things that we really want to do is, even though she is mute, is make sure that she has the self-awareness and consent to do what she wants. And that, at the end of the day, is where she is. Unfortunately, this sometimes means that she malfunctions randomly. like so. Like so. You get, no. Okay. One more time. You're good. There we go.
Yay.
And that's A.S.G.A.R.D.
Woo woo woo!
Now, if you have any questions for the mechanic or me or A.S.G.A.R.D, please raise your hands and let us know. Anything you want to say?
We were going to talk about her consuming
Yes.
things.
So, we actually have a friend who is trying to make a special tea blend that involves oil for her. It should be displayed probably at the next TeslaCon. We're working on it. Mostly, though, she kind of doesn't need food. She can use oil to make everything work properly, a little bit more with her system. However, it's not necessary unless something really is going wrong. As you can see, sometimes that happens. Nobody.
I love her curiosity.
Yes. I think that is something definitely to be maintained. I want her to be able to explore the world however she wants to. Even if it means poking me in the head.
What has most surprised you about A.S.G.A.R.D?
Ooh. Her surprising intellectual ability sometimes. Even if there's a very curiosity, like childlike soul in there, it's still very intelligent.
Are you saying she's outsmarted you?
Oh, absolutely. Too many times, yes.
That's nice. I like her dance as well. Where did you learn to dance, A.S.G.A.R.D?
So, A.S.G.A.R.D learned to dance in the circus, from what we're aware. Originally, we don't think this was originally a part of her design due to the fact that there is a coin involvement. And there used to be actually buttons that were implemented so she could do more than one dance. Our plans are to eventually re-implement this so you can choose one of the buttons and she will dance for you, as well as putting a coin and moving a card. She very much enjoys doing the circus interactions. That is one of her favorite things I've noticed, as well as just to entertain and, have fun with her involvement, her chicken dances. Involvement with her chicken dances, apparently. Are we mocking? I'll mock. Mock! See? Okay. Any other questions?
Have you taught A.S.G.A.R.D any sign language, American Sign Language? Is that a thought?
We actually do have thoughts about that. I have spoken to her about it. She can type. If any of you follow her social media, then you know that she does her own typing. We are slowly implementing ways for her to interact on her own.
Have you thought of a communication device for her to carry and express herself?
We do have a way for her to be able to explain her socials on her own, which are called Unity tags.
Okay.
They're these things that you put up to your phone, and she will, if you put your phone up to them, it'll bring her to her website.
Wow. That's good.
Val, I saw that you might have had a question.
Well, I was just wondering, when you found her,
Yes.
what made you decide to
It should be able to make contact with the back of the phone.
rebuild her?
Honestly, her build was gorgeous. It was very broken, but the thought process of going onto a project and remaking something and taking something apart and replacing items, kind of like when somebody is redoing a vintage build. That's kind of what my thought process was here. I did not realize there was such an intellectual being inside A.S.G.A.R.D. However, that's how it all evolved because of the fact that he's there. I honestly didn't realize there was a self-awareness and thought it was just going to be a cool robot.
Well, I think she's a pretty cool automaton.
She's a very cool automaton. Is there any other questions?
What can you tell us about A.S.G.A.R.D Jr.?
A.S.G.A.R.D Jr. is a replica that I tried to create, but has full speech with modern technology and looks just like her in the best but also more human-like ways. You had a question.
What feature of A.S.G.A.R.D surprised you the most when you realized it?
Ooh, her biting techniques. Her biting techniques are fun and also makes for some really surprising inventions. Inventions, one of those. She very much, she surprises you with the biting. Over everything. Oh, there you go.
I know you dance. Will you show us
Do you want to do the
your
dance?
My dad has a video.
Your dad has a video. I'll check his
Okay,
dad. Thank you.
Shh, no one knows. Are there any other questions? Last chance there. All right.
Hi, everyone.
Now, does anybody have questions for the cosplayers, me or Marlene? Val?
Where did you come up with this fabulous idea? I think you started to talk about it, and I missed it. So I would like to know again how the two of you came up with this fabulous idea.
Oh gosh. Okay, so we met last last Wild West Con, and people kind of had this thing where they're like, how the heck haven't you guys known each other for years? Because we work so well together. But what ended up happening was at TeslaCon, we were going to do a Origins of Asgard, just a random talk through. Just to her to go over the history of all the different stages, and she was going to have a PowerPoint and stuff like that. I had to
like PowerPoints. It's my weakness. We've seen your PowerPoint. It was fantastic.
See?
Oh, don't look at me like that.
Anyways, so then I came up with this question. I was like, okay, here's the thing. Do you want this to be immersive, or do you want this to be just, oh, shush. It's not boring to go over history. Or do you want to, just go over the history?
Right.
And
do we make a story of it, or is it just a recounting of how it all started 6 years ago?
So we kind of decided, okay, why don't we make this into a script
thing
and try to immerse and bring in the audience and have fun with it. So we wrote on a plane for about, how long was the flight?
The flight was 3.5 hours.
We were riding for 3.5 hours a
and then
script.
4 hours afterward in the tea room at the convention. And we had lots of company and lots of care.
It was very half-assed the first time, but it was good. It was good. Like, it was still really fun interaction, and everybody was so supportive. But we then decided, okay, we're going to specialize the script even more, and this was actually a lot of improv. I have literally just worded guidelines.
It's so good.
You told you so.
But basically, we just had a lot of fun and are slowly with which is one of the fun things when we get these questions. We're like, okay, with these answers, how do we add that to the script and change the script up a little bit as our audience asks the mechanic and A.S.G.A.R.D questions. So with the food thing, we actually do have a friend who very much is implementing a tea that
an actual tea blend. He wants to call it the A.S.G.A.R.D blend.
Yes.
He wants it to look really dark like it's oil.
Yeah.
So he's so into tea. So he's really working hard on that. But yeah, it's
it'd be cool if he could put it in a little oil can.
it's not a bad idea for hydration purposes.
Yeah.
Having something that keeps in character but keeps the human part of me from dying.
I do love your new shoes.
Oh, thank you.
I do love those.
Honestly,
you did so well with Oz.
They were Amazon finds. They came in, buff brown like a lot of them do, and I rub and buffed them.
Awesome.
To give them that metallic look. I do need to touch them up because they do scrape off because I didn't put any sort of coating on it, but it covers over again very easily. So it's a very easy, low-ish maintenance thing to do without spending a ton of money on custom shoes or trying to customize those when I'm not ready to.
Right. They're great.
Thank you.
Can you guys talk about your award you received recently?
So the Grand Arbiter and Madame A.S.G.A.R.D had an award ceremony. It was the teacup.
The Tippy Golden Teacup Awards.
Teacup Awards, and we got the Advocacy Award for the year because one of the biggest things while we're doing all these panels and stuff is also trying to make conventions a safer place for people with disabilities. We want it to make everybody be able to come together and enjoy their time at a convention, as well as being able to cosplay, because even being able to get on stages, that's a thing. Anyways, but we are slowly implementing different designs that actually connect to my wheelchair to show that you can make props that connect to mobility devices. You can just, whatever you set your mind to, yes, it will be difficult, and you actually may have to ask for help, or, bite a toe or two.
Find somebody to help you with this stuff, either by bribery or threat or friendship.
Yeah, and just make it a safe, fun environment for everyone. So that was mostly what the Advocacy Award was about. The Grand Arbiter himself made the award specifically for both of us, and it was one of the most touching things that I've ever received.
They cried.
There was a little bit of tears. I was in shock, my brain.
Good, but It was the confirmation that we needed that there is this community and cosplay community at large is open to and eager for a more inclusive environment for everyone, mobility or otherwise. So it was the push that told us, hey, you're doing good things, keep doing them.
Please keep doing them.
Please keep doing them. So we are.
And it meant a lot because they kind of since then taken us under their wing just a little bit to give us some advice to keep working on what we're working on. So, and they're wonderful. I appreciate both of them just so much. Yes.
Charity.
Explain the arm and its robotic capabilities and how you use that with your disability.
Oh, you know about that. Okay, so
if she hadn't asked, I would have to make you talk about it.
Speaking of disabilities, I can't feel my left arm. I actually can't feel 75% of my body. And so what I did is I made a robotic arm based off of my disability because there are broken mechanics and wires right here. There's 2 wires connecting to the hand in order to make it to where you can still move it. However, the pressure and everything else is gone, and kind of like, think about, I don't know if anybody watches anime here, but Fullmetal Alchemist, you can still feel pressure. I can't even do that really. It feels like I'm touching sandpaper. So, killing those wires made it to where we wanted to just, if I was going to work on an EVA foam project for the first time, I was going to make it about my disability just to have some passion there. That also, this little ether piece connects to the storyline with A.S.G.A.R.D, as well as other stuff we can't talk about. However,
it will come to
it'll come to
next
fruition
year or so.
Eventually, yeah.
Yes.
So it definitely just has a stable piece of like everything we're working on, as well as with the whole disability.
Where did you get your snazzy new 1920s haircut?
Where did I get my snazzy new 1920s haircut? Well, you see, I have a wonderful mechanic. She is our props master. I tend to do the sewing and everything. So I handmade this blouse, but she does all the EVA foam props now. And I do have some EVA foam props that I did on myself when I was on my own. But I'm a robot. I need guidelines, you know? I mean, I get lost or I get stuck in a rut and everything's the same because that's what I'm programmed to do. So this one is like, no, let's do something fun. And we try new things, and it turned out fantastic.
That did. It's great.
Yeah, it's the first time I ever did an EVA.
It's wonderful.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it was, I wasn't expecting it to turn out as well as it did, and it's honestly, I'm very impressed
So
with myself.
good.
So,
So good. And it's actually more comfortable than the first one I made for myself, because my first one, very, skull cap design, there were some things I didn't take into consideration, and it kind of presses in on my head. This one sits nicely, but it stays put. So it's that nice balance.
It's also a lighter material, and so what we did instead is we layered with the curls to make it to where metal, it looks like sheets of metal going over.
And it's all one piece.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And what did you make it out of?
EVA foam.
EVA foam?
Really good.
Yeah. Same with the arm.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's really cool.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Oh.
I was wondering where you got the idea and how you made those pins. Your pins that connect to your website.
Tobias McCurry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it on his, he's on my Facebook, and I was scrolling through, and I was like, that's magic, we need it for A.S.G.A.R.D. So I bought like 4 of them for our personal social medias, and then physical. The A.S.G.A.R.D. Lady Wheelsworth ones.
I actually did a moderator this one myself.
Yeah. Magic moment.
Are there any other questions? Oh, yes.
Yeah, have you all thought about doing like video tutorials like on YouTube?
Funny you mention that.
As a matter of fact, yes, we are recording our entire journey for everything that we make, from small improvements, little things like these shoulder pads that keep this a lot more comfortable. By the way, these are fantastic. They are working wonders. To
EVA foam.
EVA foam crafts, to a nice big surprise that we have for Lady Wheelsworth tomorrow. All of these things for right now are being shown on. We have a TV show on the Subgenres channel. It's a streaming service.
But after 3 to 5 months, right now we're working with a graphic designer to make YouTube thumbnail art as well as thumbnails, and we're going to be starting to put these on YouTube.
So we'll kind of split them up into smaller bite-sized pieces as exclusivity expires, so that eventually everything that we do will be out on YouTube. Primarily, first grab of all of our material is on the Subgenres channel for the show called Steamcraft. That is our personal TV show.
It'll definitely still be called Steamcraft on YouTube as well.
Yes.
But
yes,
you get a little bit more there, because for YouTube you have to shrink it down.
Yeah. So the episodes are a little bit more, they're a little bit longer because they can be. In fact, they request that they be, so they're a little bit more documentary-like. They're a little bit more, full detail. We're going to edit things down to bite-sized pieces for YouTube. So best quality stuff is on Subgenres, but still really, really, really good stuff to come on YouTube as well under the same name.
Any other questions?
Which part of A.S.G.A.R.D? Sorry. Which part of A.S.G.A.R.D, when you're getting the costume ready, takes the longest?
Okay, which part of A.S.G.A.R.D takes the longest when I'm getting ready? It used to be the hair, when I had to do my hair and paint it myself. With the evolution of the EVA foam caps, it became the face. So face takes about an hour and 10, hour and 15, depending on how distracted I am, because I do get distracted. Sometimes I can do it in less than an hour. Dressing in the costume is a close second. Squirrel. Glittery squirrel. Dressing is a close second. That takes me about 20 minutes. And then the hair takes less than 10 seconds, because you just stick it on and we're good to go.
Is there anything that's securing that to your head, or it just stays?
Nope, it's just free floating.
Oh.
And it's very comfortable because of that, because every once in a while I can lift it and get a little gust of air underneath.
Yeah. Props to the fabricator.
Yes, we're very much, we know that comfort is very important in our cosplays. So even if our first or second iterations have some points about them that are uncomfortable, we're very careful to, keep improving toward comfort and longevity of the piece, rather than discomfort for show. A lot of that reason is because, again, Sterling can't feel 75% of her body, so we need to make sure that if we're making something for her, it's not going to do damage that we don't know it's doing. So there's a lot of testing, there's a lot of making sure that the pieces fit proper without being too tight or too loose, so that functionality remains.
Corsets are fun, guys. I got scars.
Oh, yeah. That was... We already knew, you put something under the corset when you wear it, but she can't feel her skin, so even if that stuff slips,
it was brutal.
We're working on that. Actually, we have somebody who's willing to help make a corset specifically for you.
One of the guests here,
amazing.
Leah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, she's going to be trying to make one specially for my scoliosis.
I was going to say, if you have scoliosis issues, you have to get made, because otherwise the hips are just the wrong size.
Literally, the biggest problem I'm having is the corset. My scoliosis is so strong, the corset forms to the scoliosis and starts bending the rod into my side.
Yeah. Well, because unless it's double steel, it's you will conform the corset will not conform.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No.
Where'd you come up with the idea behind it?
Oh, I hate you.
So we'll repeat the question so that the mic can hear it. Where did A.S.G.A.R.D get the idea to bite everything? This one, right here.
I have
Your
neurodivergent tendencies, and I bite things.
It's
literally just randomly. If I'm in my comfort zone, you will see something in my mouth.
If it's in her purview and she's thinking it is in her mouth.
It can be food. It can be material. It can be pens. It can be people. It can be.
She doesn't eat them. It's just gotta be.
It's just a little nibble.
It's just gotta be in her mouth.
And then I also have like.
Fixation over there?
What?
Oral fixation over there?
A little bit?
Yes. And I know what you're implying, and I'm still going with it.
But
Yes to that question too.
during one of our very first
Live,
live
yes.
photo shoots, one of our very first live, very good. One of our first photo shoots, I was trying to figure out, okay, what can A.S.G.A.R.D do that's interesting on camera? Because there's only so many times you can take a picture of a robot at the same angle and have it be interesting. I mean, I'm gonna get bored. I'm gonna get boring real fast here. We were in the yard, and there were these rocks, and we had just been talking about how these rocks look like big hunks of bacon because they're red, they have those white veins through them, meat rocks basically. And I went, I'm gonna bite it. And she goes, what? I said, I'm gonna bite the rock. Take a picture of me biting the rock. So we have this series of pictures, it's on our Instagram, of A.S.G.A.R.D biting the rock, figuring out it doesn't taste good, and throwing it down. And that started all of the biting stuff.
She also, A.S.G.A.R.D will also fidget, and I also do the fidgeting thing as well.
Yes. I gotta do, like, when there's not people here to interact with, and I'm still very new to this, so I'm still obviously very green to this whole interaction thing. I can't think on the fly, so there's got to be something for me to fall back on, which is, well, if in doubt, bite something, because somebody is always going to find it funny. So for right now, that's my binky, that's my comfort blanket.
I'm a comedy relief. Is there any other questions?
My brain just lost the word.
You got this.
The punch card for the new dances.
Okay, so thank you very much for asking. I completely forgot. I was terrified, by the way. Thank you so much for tolerating this song.
You did.
It was amazing.
Oh
my gosh, what a voice. I
thought
sang somewhere.
Thank you.
So good.
Yeah. You gotta go on America's Got Talent, right?
So
Performing
robot.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. These punch tickets are made of glucose paper. It's a printable paper that, if you want your family member's face on their birthday cake, this is what it gets printed on, and it sits on the cake. I bought the extra thick stuff because I wanted it to be sturdy enough to handle. It's really dry when it goes in the mouth. You saw me sit there and chew for a minute because I was like, there's nothing there. I can't sing. This paper is stuck to the roof of my mouth.
It also gets really slimy.
Well, that's why I chewed it.
It's bad.
I think I might
I
try
tried it just to see.
I might try the thinner stuff just to see if it dissolves a little bit quicker, because I don't know that I want to be chewing it. I just want to,
I was kind of waiting for a second, because what we had is we have a couple of these just in case she got too nervous the first time. We're going to okay, it's a malfunction.
Yeah.
Try it again.
So.
But I thought that was what was happening, and I was like, oh no, she's just chewing.
I'm just chewing. I had to sit there and chew.
Ignore the humanism for 2 seconds.
Yeah, basically.
No, that was processing. Yeah.
Processing.
Processing.
They are not sweet.
Communion wafer?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, if you've ever been to communion, it is a communion wafer in a great big stinking sheet. Yeah. That is exactly what it is. So no, there is no flavor there whatsoever, which I don't mind.
Well, it should be followed by wine, obviously.
Yeah, right.
You need your oil can tea.
I need the oil can.
There you go.
Exactly.
Somebody's doing
and that could be a process.
Yes.
Of doing that. It's a process. 3-step process. This and this
and
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Liquid courage.
Liquid courage. Could have used that, but I didn't. But yeah, no, it's been quite a process too. We had this thought. We took a picture at TeslaCon. I had a waffle cookie in my mouth, and I just sat there with it in my mouth, and somebody snapped a picture, and somebody commented, did you mistake that as a program card? And I said, yes! Yes, I did!
That somebody is our wonderful handler right here.
Right over here.
Yeah, give all the applause to her, because she pretty much just very much keeps us hydrated, assists us, makes sure we can live stream. She is our person. If we need a thing, we
be exposed to this. I'm going to make sure it happens.
So the idea came from that waffle cookie incident and that comment of, you know, did you mistake this as a program punch card? And we went, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's do that.
Connie, you have a question.
I wondered if you thought about sound effects that you control with a remote control.
We actually had somebody tell us about that.
Because that could be cool. You could load those right onto an arm of your wheelchair and just one touch at a time for whatever series of actions she's doing.
We're currently thinking more so of putting something inside here, because like you saw me snacking around, we want something to jingle when we snack.
Yeah, we want sound effects
so
for that
that's
especially.
what we want right now. But
speaker in there.
You just have to be careful when out and about that the general public doesn't want to hit those and make the sound effects on their own, you know.
Right.
So
we have 10 minutes left.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you bringing the lantern back?
yes,
On Sunday.
we want to see the lantern.
The lantern will be showing on Sunday.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's a lamp post that we made for my wheelchair that makes a prop. It comes apart into 3 pieces, and So basically, what we have. The funny thing is, actually, the main reason we brought it is because Jocelyn really wanted to see it, and so we're like, okay, I got this. I don't really have an outfit planned with it, but who cares?
It looks good no matter what,
Because
it just goes so
fun.
well with the chair. And I can see her in crowds when she has this thing, because I'm short and I can't see over people's heads.
I know I'm 3 foot, but
You're I'm the tall one. I'm the tall one, everybody.
Really?
Yes. Honestly, no. She's physically she's taller.
I am 5'9" to 5'11".
Yeah. So she'd tower over me.
So I'm really tall.
Yeah.
But
the lamppost does that for you in crowds. So.
But yeah, no. If you want to see the lamppost that we created, that prop, it will be on display on Sunday. We also have a secret project that will be coming out tomorrow on my picture. So.
Awesome.
As well as upgrade for that, hopefully in Chicago. But there's plans for it. So.
Are you getting sponsorships to go to these other cons?
No.
Is
Not
there
yet.
a way? We need a way. So if we have an idea for a sponsorship.
We are working on that.
We're trying.
Right now.
We are planning to try to make a Patreon soon. To if anybody does.
We're talking like Lipton teas or a tea brand, you know, or something like that. That it would pay your way in all ways, and you know, have a booth with somebody they pay to run the booth. And
if you know connections, please.
And if you are a fan of different cons, let the cons know too. Like say, hey, I would like if you could invite so and so to this con.
Yeah, that's actually what I've been told. If you do want to see us,
that is higher.
Yeah.
Please go to all of the other cons and request them.
Yeah.
Please.
It really does help because we are more likely to get sponsored to be paid to go. This is actually the first time we've actually been guests. So. And it's
To be perfectly honest, at this exact time last year, Wild West Con, I came here. I went to where we were at Westward Look, I think it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Going, you know what? I'm just going to spend a day or 2 here as A.S.G.A.R.D because I haven't for a while and I miss it and it's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, this is the stuff I really want to be doing all the time. Why, And after Wild West Con, I left telling my husband, I could do this. I could totally do this. And we had already become friends at that point. And so it was just a natural progression of, I know myself, social media, anything that doesn't involve the craft itself, I am bad at it. Because it's like my brain can't multitask that way. It chooses not to. Or that's just how it functions. And so she's like, no, I'll help you with this. And I went, okay, so now I have a community manager and we can benefit each other in one way or another.
Community manager lasted, what, a week and a half?
I would say it lasted a couple of months before we were like, you know what, if you're going to be there and be my, she's like, I can be your handler. You really need to stay in character a little bit more.
So, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Go for it.
Our moderator has cards to hand out to you as well as pictures for everybody.
Yay.
We wanted to give everybody one of both, and before we run out of time, you guys have to thumbs.
Right.
And will you autograph them so that they are so valuable?
We don't have a pen.
We do have
you
a
can
pen,
find a pen.
actually.
marks.
It's okay. We got a pen if you want to come up and get it autographed.
Yes. Awesome.
Okay, is there any other questions while she's handing those out?
Been mostly done.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play-In Podcast Network. If you enjoyed our show, please check out D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Ragnarok Enroll a Scion Hero to Ragnarok Story. Also, check out our Patreon page for more content and behind-the-scenes things, as well as joining us for a one-shot game or two.